All right, we're about to jump into a piece of technology that is getting a massive, mind-blowing upgrade right under our noses. And I'm willing to bet it's not what you're thinking.
So, let me ask you, when I say futuristic vehicle, what's the first thing that pops into your head? You thinking flying cars? Maybe a self-driving Hyperloop pod? Something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, just hang on to that thought for a second.
Because the answer, and you're not going to believe this, might actually be the forklift. Yeah, I know what you're thinking, the forklift, but trust me on this, because we're going to break down how this warehouse workhorse is quietly becoming one of the smartest, most connected machines on the entire planet.
So first things first, how do you give a simple machine a brain? Well, it all starts with two little things you might have heard of: automation and AI. And these are way more than just buzzwords now. They are completely changing what a forklift is and what it's capable of.
The first step on this ladder is something called the automated lift truck, or ALT. And the easiest way to think about an ALT is that it's automation with a tutor. Basically, a human operator gets in, puts it in learning mode, and drives it through a task. Let's say picking up a pallet and moving it across the warehouse. The ALT memorizes every turn, every lift, and from that point on, it can do that exact same job over and over all by itself.
Okay, so the next level up is a bit more independent. These are automated guided vehicles, or AGVs. Now, these are the kinds of machines you might picture in a super modern factory. They don't need an operator at all. Instead, they navigate by following guides, like special magnetic tape on the floor, or by using lasers to follow a preset path.
And that brings us to the top of the pyramid, the current peak of the technology, autonomous mobile robots, or AMRs. These things are the real game changers. Why? Because AMRs don't need any guides, no tape, no lasers. They use powerful AI to actually build a map of their surroundings, figure out the best routes, and, this is the crucial part, they can adapt in real time to unexpected stuff, like a person walking by or a pallet that's out of place.
So you can really see the evolution here, right? The ALT is basically a follower. It's stuck on the path it was taught. The AGV has a bit more freedom, but it's still chained to its guides. But the AMR? Well, the AMR is a thinker. That high flexibility, all powered by AI, means you can drop it into a warehouse and it can get to work almost immediately, without having to completely redesign the whole floor.
And look, this stuff isn't just theory. The most famous example, of course, is Amazon's army of little orange robots. These guys are technically AGVs, and they are incredibly efficient. We're talking about machines that can zip across a warehouse floor, carrying a 340-kilogram rack of products at a brisk 5.5 kilometers per hour, and they do it 24/7. But it's not just about speed and efficiency. A huge part of this revolution is about safety. So what's this number? 1,000. That is roughly the number of serious, work-related injuries involving forklifts reported to the Health and Safety Authority every single year. The big goal for this AI, with its lightning-fast reaction times, is to make that number plumb.
Okay, but having a smart machine working all by itself isn't the whole story. The next massive leap is all about connectivity. We're talking about building a connected warehouse, which basically acts like a giant digital nervous system.
And this digital nervous system really has three main parts. First, you've got IoT, the Internet of Things. Think of these like the nerves. You have smart pallets with sensors and RFID tags that are constantly gathering data, like where they are or even their temperature. Then, you have the 5G network. This is the spinal cord, the super-fast highway that lets all these devices talk to each other instantly, with almost zero delay. And finally, you have telematics. This is the brain, a central hub that sucks in all that data and analyzes everything, from forklift speed to fuel usage.
And the way it all comes together is this really powerful feedback loop. The AI forklifts and IoT sensors are out there gathering data constantly. That info zips across the 5G network to the telematics hub, which is the brain of the operation. And there, managers can see everything. They can spot bottlenecks, schedule maintenance before something breaks, and just make the entire operation smarter and safer. Now, if you want to know just how powerful this connection is, get this. A logistics company successfully drove a forklift that was physically in France from a control station in California. I mean, think about that for a second. That's the kind of thing that's possible with a super fast, low-latency 5G connection. It completely changes the definition of what it even means to be a forklift operator.
So, we have this smart, connected machine, but what's actually powering it? And, probably the most important question of all, with all this incredible tech, what happens to the people who used to do these jobs?
You know, for decades, forklifts have been powered by diesel, batteries, or LPG, but they all have their problems. You've got toxic fumes, super long recharge times, and of course, reliance on fossil fuels. The industry is now looking hard at a much cleaner, much more powerful alternative: hydrogen fuel cells.
And the secret sauce here is something called energy density. To put it simply, hydrogen just packs an incredible punch. 1 single kilogram of hydrogen has nearly 3 times the energy as the same amount of gasoline. That means you get way more work done on a single fill-up.
And when you put them all head-to-head, the benefits become pretty clear. Hydrogen's biggest win over electric batteries is the refueling time. We're talking 5 minutes versus hours of charging. Plus, its only emission is water. Just water. That's a massive upgrade from diesel fumes. Now, the big hurdle right now is cost. It's still pretty high. But like with any new tech, as it gets more common, that price is expected to come down.
Okay, so let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is the question that's on everybody's mind, right? If you have these super smart, hydrogen-powered robots doing all the work, do we even need human drivers anymore? It's a really important question.
Well, if you ask industry experts like Adam Lansbury, who's the commercial director at Angus Lift Trucks, the answer isn't about getting rid of jobs, it's about jobs evolving. He's on the record saying these changes are making the industry better, not just for the bottom line, but for the workers too.
And here's the thinking behind that. It's really about a shift in roles, not a total replacement. Automation is perfect for the boring, the repetitive, and, frankly, the dangerous jobs. And that frees up human workers to focus on things that require nuance and complex problem solving. Plus, it's creating totally new kinds of jobs. People who maintain the robots, remote operators driving a forklift from an office hundreds of miles away, and managers who oversee these new digital systems. I mean, look at Amazon again. When they rolled out their robots, they actually ended up creating hundreds of thousands of new jobs for people.
So when you put it all together, the AI brain, the 5G nervous system, the clean hydrogen fuel, what does this all really mean for this machine we thought we knew so well?
It means the forklift is no longer just a brute force tool for picking up heavy stuff. It's transforming into a smart, connected, data-gathering hub that is an absolutely essential cornerstone of the entire modern supply chain. It's a full-on evolution from muscle to intelligence.
So the big takeaway here is that one of the most common, most seemingly basic tools of industry has been completely reinvented from the ground up by technology. Which leaves us with a pretty cool question to think about. What other humble, everyday tool is next? Thanks for tuning in.